Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is another episode of Nerdy Live in the Morning. I am your host, Nerdy John, the Morning Mixmaster. And joining me as always, it is the one, the only, the Senator of Sass herself. It is Squatchin. How are you doing today?
I'm addicted to Destiny. How are you, John? How's chat doing?
I'm good. I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to the usual, Squatchin. I'm addicted to stuff.
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, yes, you know.
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, Postal, that.
Doom.
Always Doom. Okay, rip and tear, baby, rip and tear. Welcome to the best morning show in commentary. Why are we the best? Because we're the only ones. Goddammit. Well, Squatchin. Before we get into today's main topic, sort of a little caveat, sort of add-on to the Zerka story we covered a couple days ago. So Connor did his own video on the coverage, and it seems like he's the only one that's received a community guideline strike. Luckily, it's the first one on his personal channel, so it's just a warning. So here we are.
Yeah.
It says, what the fuck? My video calling Zerka disgusting for 14 minutes just got removed, and I was given a warning strike for child safety. I didn't show any more than any other YouTuber who covered this. This makes zero sense. And as you can see, the term that he violated apparently was child safety. I don't know. This is weird. I feel like because I don't think this is a coordinated effort by YouTube. I saw Pizzle was suggesting that. I don't think that's the case, because if that was, Willie's video would have gotten down. I saw there are a lot
Our
of
video,
our stream,
live stream.
Yeah, I saw people who did way less censorship than like Willie, Connor. Definitely would have been taken down. Muda's video too would have been taken down as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the case. I think it's something weird in their system. He tried appealing it, and then it got instantly rejected.
Yeah, there's something up with their fucking appeal system. I don't like it. How can you manually appeal or manually review something that's like an hour long or whatever, and it only take 5 minutes? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, Connor's video was like 14 minutes, but yeah, I get what you're saying. So, Squatchin, do you remember Illuminaughtii?
Sadly, yes, I do. I wish she didn't exist. Her mother should have swallowed her.
Oh my god. Boys and girls, gather around the campfire. Gather around the coffee shop, okay? Because we're about to tell you, spin you a tale.
Grab you a hash brown, yo.
Hash brown, a donut, whatever morning pastry you prefer. Bagel with some nice cream cheese on it.
A good schmear.
Oh yeah, there we go. So Blair used to be a part of Shot from the Point. She was a big part of the news team for a while.
Sarah J. Warren.
Yeah. And Illuminaughtii, or the secret organization, or the YouTuber? Why not both?
I'm pretty sure the actual Illuminaughtii is tired of Illuminati's shit.
I know, she's been like so much bad PR for them. It's like, listen, we're the Illuminaughtii, but like, come on, lady.
Hmm.
So she used to be part of Tommy's news team for a while. Was one of his was a big supporter. And then
Hmm.
someone made fun of her friend who was associated with Shot for the Point. Went
Yeah, Rico
crazy.
is still fat, by the way.
She went crazy and deleted a whole lot of Tommy's videos on that secondary channel.
Anything with her face in it, anything that she helped work on, she considered hers, and she deleted from his channel,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
incredibly not only disrespectful but disgusting.
Yeah, yeah. So, and she's been doing like the video essay stuff for a while. She was uploading, I think, like once or twice a week with the help of editors and
Mm.
everything, right? And
Hmm.
she was a million sub YouTuber who was getting very consistent views and like was still, I would say, like getting videos that were in the millions of views sometimes. However, I don't know why, because Nick and Tommy have talked about this, how she's a very impulsive person behind the scenes, and they had to wrangle her a lot. But still, as an impulsive person, I don't know how she thought this would go well for her. She tried going after Legal Eagle, a lawyer YouTuber, and unlike Ricada, does not seem to have a coke problem.
Yeah, or be a swinger
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
know of
that we
that
know
that
of.
could come to light. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, she tried going after Legal Eagle for paper effect. By the way, this paper effect, I've
Hmm.
seen dozens of YouTubers use. It's something that
Yeah.
you can actually hang on. Let me look it up right here. Let's see. Premiere Pro paper and paper effect. Paper texture. Look at that. How to get the crumbled paper work in Premiere Pro right there. It's
Hmm.
something you can look up very easily. How to create a paper rip effect. Yep, yep.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the one she apparently is
Owns.
known for.
Yeah,
There's the
she.
ripped paper and the purple highlighter.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because highlighting text is it's a
Yeah.
very difficult process. I don't know if you knew that,
Only
Squatchin.
incredibly difficult, John. Oh my god. Only Illuminati can use the highlighter effect in purple
Hmm.
because she owns the color purple now.
Yeah.
Uh
Well,
yeah, try
also,
again, Blair.
yeah.
Try
Also,
again.
if anything, I think Squatchin would argue for the case of owning purple.
Yeah.
Um.
Shit's mine, bitch.
Yeah, and like her
Bite me.
flimsy excuse for it was, well, like your editor came to my editor for some editing tips, which is like, if you're an editor in this space and you know another editor, you're gonna ask for like some tips here and there.
Oh yeah.
Um, and so she got dogged for that for a while, like I would say like a couple of weeks, right? And usually, things would go away, they would pass. Um, and then YouTubers who were former associates of her came out with stories. One of them being The Click, where he talked about how when they did an old podcast together, she
Hmm.
had one of her editors find all the clips where he was saying like what would be considered offensive slurs now, and
No words.
yeah, no words, and would try to use them to cancel him, that kind of stuff. Former employee of hers, sorry, Oz Media, who also used to be her boyfriend,
Because
um,
that's not a conflict of interest.
yeah, was revealing like, oh yeah, well, like here's like what the room looked like when we were living together. It was just like a trash heap. And he revealed that like she was very difficult to work with behind the scenes.
Hmm.
Blair would attempt to make a response video to everything. It failed spectacularly in her favor. So like if we look at her channel now, not only has she stopped uploading, but like if we look at all of her videos post
PETA.
controversy, they can't even scratch her former numbers. So like, okay, we got 30K, 26K. Her newest video had 81K, and that's like good. That's good for her. Now
Yeah,
this
that's
is
on
a
the high end now.
this is a million sub YouTuber, by the way, and what's funny
Wait,
is
she did a video on Sears? The fuck is wrong with Sears?
everything. Okay, it.
Oh, yeah, I guess it was kind of murdered. I miss working at Sears. I enjoyed the people I worked
Oh
with,
wait,
though.
did she? Oh no, she didn't. So this is like this. No, like her video trying to respond to everything is like the last thing from hers that got 1 million views,
Yeah.
and then it just all goes downhill.
Mm-hmm.
I forget which video it is right here. But like, there's a video where it's like, because I don't think she can't hire editors anymore because they refuse to work with her now. I want to say it's like a Hurricane Katrina type thing, or like I know
There was a
point is there's like a whole like 5 minutes of a video where there is no audio whatsoever and it's just her PNG. She oh, here it is right here. I think.
yeah, business of disaster.
When natural
Yeah. I'm gonna have to find it specifically. This maybe? Yeah. Let's look at this. Like, clearly there's supposed to be...
There's supposed to be audio there that she didn't put in or forgot to put in,
Yeah,
or...
and of course all comments now are turned off. If you look at her Patreon, she only has, like... I think it was 80 people who are paid to be there, and half of those are probably YouTubers looking for exposed material on her.
Oh, yeah. And the other half are
Helpers.
mods or viewers of those creators, just in case they get removed
Yeah.
or banned from the Patreon.
Mm-hmm. Well...
Pretty sad.
Illuminaughtii is suing Oz Media. I think it was something where I know what happened. One of the things that happened was, so he lived in their former place still. That was under her name still.
Yeah.
So she kicked him out. I remember he did this huge, massive, like, legal fund stream. He met his goal, which is awesome for him, right?
I remember seeing that.
Yeah. And then I think he did an additional legal fund as well for that. Like he did an emergency like stream fund because he needed money for
to save his living situation.
Yeah.
And I think the second one was for legal representation and stuff to kind of defend himself against Blair.
Yeah. But like, still, with this type of lawsuit, legal proceedings are always going to be expensive, especially if you're not a big YouTuber. I think Oz is only 562,000, right? Which is a big number, right? He's got the official YouTube check mark and everything, right? But it's safe to say he doesn't have as much money as Blair did. Unfortunately, I think there's something like in the latter half of this video where it's sort of like a plea for like to reach some sort of settlement agreement outside of court.
Not so much a settlement, or not a settlement. Not so much a plea, but an offer.
Well, let's get into it. The video is going to be an hour long. The intention is to get through the whole thing. So let's start this bad boy.
Let's get into it.
After that long monologue. Listen, okay, this is some deep anime lore that we had to set up. You guys have to understand.
We need context, okay? You can't just go into this without context.
Especially with this drama being like over a year old now and still ongoing.
Well, here we are. Round 2. Blair, if you or your lawyers are watching this, I implore you to at least watch the outro, preferably before June 7th. This is not the monstrosity.
And it's June 13th, so hopefully it worked
of a
out.
documentary against Blair's actions. If anything, think of this as the prologue. We're here right now because Blair, owner of Pyramid Entertainment LLC, or better known as her public YouTube personality illuminaughtii, is currently in the process of suing me, as well as other prior employees for defamation and other claims.
Yeah, she's suing a lot of people, not just him. It's like a lot of people.
Yeah.
This video, as well as its subsequent parts, will serve as a public record of exactly what is going on behind the scenes. Throughout these videos, I will actively be showing all and any evidence related to dismantling her claims against me, as well as the other parties she's involved in this misplaced legal crusade of hers. Seeing as I know this video will be heavily scrutinized by Blair's legal team, hi, and perhaps even shown in front of a court, also hi, I am fully willing to submit this video and its subsequent parts to the courts as further evidence, as I am willing to stand by these words as I'm treating this as though I'm speaking under.
So, obviously we're not legal experts, but depending on how this video goes, do you think this could bite him? This statement right here, because he's like, yeah, show it in court. I got nothing to hide.
It's hard to say. I don't really follow court stuff much to kind of know how certain things would go.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I remember, I watched this when it was first released. And I don't think there was anything too terrible in there that would have caused issues, like, legally. But I could be wrong, because I am not a legal expert.
Right. Swatch, are you telling me you're not a legal expert? I can't use you in a case of law?
No, John, I'm here for... I am the token woman. I'm here so you can be misogynistic and not get in trouble for it.
Right, yeah.
We know that this is part of my contract.
I tried hiring a woman of color, but there was none available, so I had to stick with a ginger, so...
Yeah.
It counts.
It counts. I'm a minority. Hashtag 2%.
I am also not stating this to add an air of authority to my words, as Blair's legal team has previously proposed. I want the truth known. And to do so, I'm going to publicly dissect her claims within this lawsuit to essentially lay bare my defense, as well as the defense for other parties involved. My section of the lawsuit will be covered in part 2, as I'm awaiting litigation privileges before I explore my portion of the lawsuit publicly. Despite this, there is still plenty of information on the ongoings in this video. My lawyer is aware I'm doing this. These legal proceedings have been ongoing for the past 8 to 9 months at this point in time. If it wasn't for the assistance I received with the GoFundMe back in September, I would not have been able to mount a legal defense. Of the amount donated, GoFundMe takes a fee with each donation. This can be seen on screen here with this nice little chart breakdown they provide. At this point in time, which more information can be found as an update in the original GoFundMe, this lawsuit has cost over $40,000. I've been posting all of...
And I imagine that's just like the initial proceedings and stuff. I don't know if they've actually... Well, I know there's a channel that's been covering the legal stuff. I think we watched him like 1 or 2 times before on the channel before. But yeah, I think they're like, I would say it's still like in the early stages of the lawsuit, and like it still costs them that much.
Yeah.
Legal proceedings of this nature are very expensive.
Of my legal invoices for full transparency, and more will be posted soon. The redacted information within them is information subject to attorney-client privilege, which also spells out my current legal strategy. This would be foolish to allow Blair's legal team access. This is why the redactions are as heavy as they are, as they include itemized lists of my lawyer's actions throughout the case's initial proceedings. Despite how much has been spent so far, the legal proceedings are still in the beginning phases. Blair's lawsuit, in my opinion, relies on the misconstruing of facts and utilizes a personally curated timeline, which she has constructed in order to gain the bare minimum standards of having this case proceed. Because I'm exhausted with the, in my opinion, legal shenanigans Blair is currently pulling, this video exists. We will be delving into that timeline.
Yeah, I think the whole obviously I think, okay, that's going to sound weird to say. I think there is some legal justification for Blair making the lawsuit, right? Because it seems like she's well within her rights to do so as the former employer, this employee who, I don't know if they had an NDA, but I'm sure they had like some sort of thing written out to where like he couldn't talk a lot of crap about her, right?
Yeah.
But it's clear that this lawsuit is more about saving whatever like ego that she has, Because obviously she couldn't save herself on like the public front, right? I think she's just at a point now where she's just like very vindictive. She knows she can't save her career, so she's just gonna drag everyone down with her. I think
Yeah. Well,
that's the
we knew
scenario
she
we're
was
dealing with.
vindictive after the shit she pulled with Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a fat comment towards someone you know
Mm-hmm.
isn't like the
Also, that's like the tamest jokes that
quote
like
unquote
Tommy and his crews
yeah.
made.
Yeah. Like, if you're really that thin-skinned, why are you here?
Also, I do remember
Like-
this. Thank you for resharing this. Why am I not following us if I was? Someone is trying to charge back $3,000 they donated during the legal fundraising, and I have no idea what to do. As from 5 days ago, I have already used the funds to cover my legal invoices. And then here it is right here. I think when you originally shared this, I think you had made the theory that it might have been Blair who donated.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if it was Blair that did the chargeback, knowing that he would get stuck with extra fees because of a chargeback? And I put there was a update to it that I just put in the group chat as well.
Yeah, so let's see. Weird update on the whole 3K chargeback stream donation. They haven't provided any proof or validity.
Yeah.
Sorry, validity to the chargeback. Only charging the entirety of their name, first, middle, and last. It's now a different name completely. Anyone have any clue? That is weird. Very weird.
That is weird. Someone in the replies speculated that it could have been one of those like gift card, credit card kind of things.
Oh, yeah. Because, like, obviously for legal reasons, I don't think Oz can just straight up say, yeah, I think it was Blair who did this, right? But I'm sure he has his suspicions.
I can say it, though.
Yeah, we're not being sued yet.
Nope.
And gutting it point by point, as both her lawyers and judge seem to be fully unaware that I am not the real cause of her pain and misery. Blair is. Blair's actions are the reason we are here, and I'll be demonstrating that shortly with a detailed timeline of events before we move into the dissection of her claims. If you would like a full breakdown of every court filing to date, I would recommend YouTuber Matt Caster. For now, I'll be focusing on what's current and minimizing the 100+ pages of legal proceedings down to only what's necessary over the next 2 parts. For the next proceedings, I'll be launching a new GoFundMe because I have nearly exhausted the prior amounts donated.
So this is a weird thing. By the way, I'm not saying that he's like scamming anyone from this. I'm not going down that route. It's just like, how to put this. I don't know if he can rely solely on public funding. Because eventually,
no, I don't think so.
I mean, the well of Illuminati hatred is like what seems like never ending.
Is vast. It's incredibly vast.
It's just, and granted, he probably didn't know how much it would actually be. I'm assuming that this is like his first legal dealing. It's just, he probably should have made the first GoFundMe the goal a lot bigger, and I'm trying to formulate the point here. I'm not, so that way I'm not trying to seem like I'm against the guy. It's just it's sort of like a cry wolf situation where, like, okay, you're gonna have a second round, well, technically third if we're counting like the house thing. A third round of like public funding. When are we going to reach a point where people are just going to be tired of giving him money?
How much has he raised so far? Because I think the new point
GoFundMe
is 100K.
The new GoFundMe is in the description. Let me look at that real quick. Let's see. It's $40,000, and he's already reached 36,000. Okay, that's
Okay.
good. I mean, good for him. Don't get again. I should clarify. I'm not saying that his money, like you shouldn't help him. It's
Mhm.
just I hope he isn't too reliant on it. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because
Like maybe he should have done. You're saying like he should have done more research on the uh,
legal happenings.
estimated costs before
Yeah, and like I'm gonna
having like maybe going into it with a more concrete number of exactly how much he would need
yeah, and also
cover his stuff kind of thing.
Well, also too, like we do have to remember that she has a lot more money than him. She can drag out the legal proceedings. I don't know if she did.
And drain his quote unquote war chest
Yeah.
very quickly.
Mhm. And to be fair to him, it seems like he has been keeping up uploading, so like it's like
Mhm.
so that's good for him. I was worried for a second that
He's
like
also got a second channel as well.
Oh, I imagine he uploads more frequently on that one.
I think so.
My initial worry was that, oh, like, is he just like not uploading to his channel and just like relying solely off of this? Okay, well, that's good.
All donations will be used to
see if I can
defend all
find it
parties in opposition to Blair, not just myself. All future legal invoices will be posted as they come from all parties who are in need of the funding. My goal with these uploads, assuming Blair does not take my offer, is to not only lay my defense bare for all legal parties to see, but for the online community as a whole. I intend to provide ample documentation to justify to all of you why another round of crowdfunding is being posted. This isn't just for myself anymore. This is also to defend employees that Blair is bringing legal action against as well. If Blair does accept my offer within the outro, I will be refunding the new GoFundMe once all terms are met and the lawsuit is officially over, court filings and all. If you're curious as to why I'm even offering Blair a potential settlement in the outro, that will be explained there, as there are numerous factors in my personal life that I've recently had to heavily consider and prioritize minimizing or even removing causes of stress. That being said, I have no issue, hesitations, or fears in connection to proceeding with this lawsuit. I am confident in the direction things are going, and I just want to offer a path to end this before we're stuck in this for years on end.
Oh, you see, like I don't know if I would have added that personally, where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna win this. Like he was talking like he was like his sports team was about to win for a second, right?
Well, I mean, morale is a big thing.
Yeah.
He might be trying to not get depressed over it because I can't imagine legal issues being easy to deal with.
No, yeah, and he's saying that he's has like new stresses in his life that are probably unrelated, but still.
Yeah.
I just like and obviously I've never been in a legal situation. Yeah, luckily. I just
Never
like,
say never.
Right. I just like I can imagine, especially with how vindictive she is, that she's probably hired even more vindictive lawyers, and so like I can imagine they're gonna use every little thing that they can to use against Oz.
Well, I mean, they're gonna have to if they want a paycheck from her.
Right.
This will be further explored in the outro.
The timeline.
As stated in my September update video, Blair and I dated, just in case this context is missing. It was never my goal to make any of this about relationship drama. However, despite the actual timeline of events which have occurred, Blair is trying to paint her entire downfall on YouTube as being nothing more than my actions towards her as a jealous ex.
It was you who told her to tweet out against Legal Eagle. It was you who did that, buddy.
Yeah. Damn it, Oz. What have you done?
I don't even think it was Oz who first came out either. I think it was The Click who made his video first, which I don't know if he's part of the lawsuit some way, but I think I would have seen a video from him.
I'm pretty sure he's one of... Oz mentioned in the beginning that more than one creator was being sued. Yeah. She's pretty much taking all of her former staff to the cleaners. By the looks of it.
I'm not jealous towards your current partner, Blair. Only sympathetic. I encourage all of you to...
And if we're comparing Blair's former partners, I definitely tolerate Oz a lot more. I mean, who was that the guy FPS Diesel was kind of poking fun at? The guy who
Oh,
like posted
God.
pictures of himself in like lingerie.
I don't recall that. What?
Yeah, no, yeah, this dude's like a
Oh
freak.
my God. You'd
to
have to
fact
be to
check this
date Blair
timeline
to
as I
be
go.
honest.
I'm being
I mean,
both as detailed and as quick
Or young and naive, like Oz was.
yeah, true.
as
Not
I
everyone can
here,
know about
because,
the
again,
baby
Blair,
arm
in my
story.
opinion, is actively obfuscating the timeline in her lawsuit in an attempt to paint herself as a victim who did nothing to deserve the scrutiny delivered onto her. On April 20th, 2023, the story begins with a tweet produced by Blair which attacked Legal Eagle for copying her style. Legal Eagle would quickly retort, explaining he had been using these standard practice editing styles, which included
It's like, I'm just like using standard stuff. Like especially like how clean and professional Legal Eagle is. Yeah, you're gonna use the paper effect. That's like a standard professional-esque way to do your video essay.
standard documentarian effects, such as the classic skeuomorphism torn paper effect, as well as the simple action of highlighting text, which all can easily be found as stock templates online. In this
Oh my god, look at that. Look at that.
text,
Oh,
which
shit.
all can easily be found
They're stealing from Blair.
She's gonna have to DMC at Google now, because I
And
mean, you can
Adobe.
Google that shit. Yeah.
as stock templates online. In this Twitter thread, Blair had also levied accusations against members of Legal Eagle's team as proof of this copying by showing an editor of Legal Eagle asking for help with how a certain effect is achieved. This is standard practice amongst YouTubers and editors. Blair responded to Legal Eagle by deleting these accusations.
Not legal editors broaching my editors to take my video style, and then they didn't give up the info until they literally copied it. And by the way, I have messages from my editors and found an email from them too. Just change the color from purple to blue, huh? Interesting. Like, you think she was like on something when she was tweeting all this out? Like,
Was? She probably still is. She probably had Keffels hook her up with her fucking dealer.
Yeah, probably. I was just like, yo, careful, you got your plug, let me.
And did not provide a public apology or any form of public justification for her actions. This further stirred the pot and made people ask questions. This same day, April 20th, H-Bomber Guy would post a tweet publicly displaying an example of Blair copying a documentary herself, although he used the word plagiarism. At the time, I found it incredibly telling that H-Bomber Guy had such a specific clipped comparison ready to go that same day, with an exact video. I do wonder if Blair had the same realization that I did, that
Well, I think he was working on that plagiarism video around that time. I want to say he
know.
was. Yeah, because let me look up H-Bomber Guy real quick. H-Bomber Guy.
Yeah. Didn't know Blair was still so bitter, but it makes a lot of sense, though. Yeah, she's the most bitter, vindictive bitch on the internet.
Yeah, his plagiarism video was officially released 6 months ago. So he was probably, and like, I need to double check. I don't know if there's a specific segment on Blair herself, but like obviously if he's researching this, I'm assuming he's like combing over everyone. Oh yeah, there is a specific section about Illuminaughtii. Yeah, so he was probably researching her. And then this stuff came out, and so he kind of just like fired early.
Yeah.
the only way Harris would have a clip like this is if something major was in the works. Foreshadowing is a literal. On April 23rd, 3 days later, we would see Click post his Twitter thread. I emphasize the 3 days portion because at this point, Blair was still yet to address the Legal Eagle scenario, pushing Click, a former collaborator of hers, to publicly distance himself from her to avoid the flack that her actions had been causing for any and all who were at any point associated with her. This is not an accusation. I am just stating the unforeseen cause and effect of Blair's documented actions. This same night, from a bathtub apparently, Wonderstruck, now known as Hi I'm Wonder, would post his Twitter thread detailing his prior dealings with Blair, as well as the harm that he felt he suffered when close to her. I was unaware that Wonder was going to make this tweet. He and I normally aren't on voice call when he's in the tub. This will be important later when we move into the details of the lawsuit, as Blair claims Wonder and I had essentially masterminded her downfall.
Everyone was working together, including Legal Eagle. Legal Eagle purposefully did the same editing style so that way Blair knew she had to call him out, and then everyone ganged up on her. Poor innocent Blair.
It's a trap. It's a giant gay op.
I know, it's been like... you know...
The cabal strikes again.
Hang on. You know the New Vegas intro? New Vegas. Truth is... This...
You've made your last...
You see, right here is H Bomber Guy. Here's the click. Then here's Oz Media, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
Poor innocent Illuminati. They've been plotting against her from the beginning.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the thread until I received a now deleted DM from Blair asking me what she should do, followed by several missed calls from her.
Oh my god, former boyfriend, what should I do? I don't know, ask your current boyfriend.
Yeah, for real.
I wish I had a record of this Discord DM, but by the next morning, this DM would be deleted. Because Blair did not publicly provide a reason or explanation towards her actions, and with the emergence of H Bomber Guy, Click, and Wonderstruck's threads, it left Twitter frenzied for answers. Those who were familiar with my connections to Blair, as it was public knowledge we were roommates, would begin to DM
in quotations, roommates.
Me or brigade my livestream chats with questions on the situation. Questions such as if I still supported Blair and if I could provide a reason or explanation for her actions. It was because of users constantly asking me to answer on behalf of Blair, as well as my past colleagues, finally speaking out, that I broke my silence and posted my thread. A thread where I took accountability for my actions in support of Blair and defended the credibility of my colleagues. I posted my Twitter thread April 24th, 2023 at roughly 4 a.m. my time. That same morning, I had this text message interaction with Blair. Please note, it is only because of the current trajectory of this lawsuit, with myself awaiting litigation privileges on these matters, that I am no longer leaving my information redacted, as I had previously intended to do so now 1 year ago. Blair, Monday, April 24th at 8.
Okay. Let's see. I just saw your tweet, and now I understand when I called you, you didn't answer. I'm going to take some time to formulate my thoughts, but ultimately, blank, I hope you really do find your happiness in life. I hope you find your peace, your satisfaction, your perfect black cat, all of that. I'm not sure what you want from an outcome in this situation, but I guess I'll have to figure that out later. Blair, just want you to realize you've caused pain. You caused me pain. I don't care about the drama. I just want you to realize how much you've hurt me. I've been doing my best to hold everything in for years now. At this point, you finally did read my thread. You would have known what I want. Peace. I just want to be free. I want to be able to breathe.
24 a.m. So I just saw your tweets. It was for you to realize you.
Okay. I read that you want peace. I thought we were doing better. I wished it could have been something we talked about on our own time instead of dogpiling. I'm left more confused than anything. Well, I assume you don't want to talk anymore. All I ever wanted was for you to realize you hurt me, not just in the relationship. I don't care about that. You hurt me as a person to my very core. At some point, Blair, you need to see the pattern. Well, blank. I cared about the relationship too. I cared about all of it. You've hurt me as a person too and ripped everything wide open today. And if And if doing this all to me helps you feel better, then that's okay. I will take it. I am sorry, blank. I hope this finds you peace, and I hope this helps you find your peace. Then, oh, shoot. There we go. Let's
I'll take it. Diagnosis.
Okay, here we go. Long one. Except you aren't. You're going to continue to drag my name through the mud. You're going to continue to be who you are, and that's okay. I just hope that you stop painting people as your weekly villains. It's your biggest flaw, and it's always gotten you in the most trouble. It's what got you the most harm. I mean, it's what got her in trouble in that situation, was going after Legal Eagle.
Yeah.
Blair, I'm sorry I ripped everything wide open, but I never had the chance to heal. I never had the chance to feel peace. Instead, I went to therapy and had to have a PTSD diagnosis. Instead, I gave myself chemical burns because I was going to. Wait, hang on. Let me rewrite that. Instead, I gave myself chemical burns because I was too scared to say no. I'm afraid of you, Blair. I'm going to getting a second opinion on the PTSD. I don't want it to be true, and I don't want to talk space. I don't trust talk space to that extent. What the hell are you talking about with chemical burns? Then that's blanked out.
Yeah, I'm confused on that part too.
Yeah. Also, PTSD. Like,
I mean, sleeping next to Blair is enough to give anyone PTSD.
Oh, yeah,
in his
sure.
defense.
Imagine the smell.
Uh,
Do you think they actually didn't know about Blair, or did they just grifting? Blair being crazy has been public knowledge for a long time. Cringe. Well, yes and no. If you followed Tommy, you knew about it.
yeah.
The problem is Tommy doesn't have the reach that he did anymore. Comedy
No.
Shorts Gamer isn't watching him anymore. KSI is not watching him anymore, right? The issue is, like, Tommy can shout it from the rooftops, and his voice either isn't going to reach people, or people are going to think he's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you have instances like he basically, I'm not saying that's what he basically had to wait for Blair to screw herself over, as I think he probably predicted that
Pretty
she
much.
would eventually.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about? Chemical burns. I don't want to drag your name in the mud, which is why I'm going to you instead of Twitter or whatever. I would go to an actual doctor. Colorado is tightening down on medical stuff. FYI. I'm working on it. Thanks for the heads up. I would rather talk to you in a phone call, in person, whatever. I would rather try to work on things and work out things over. I don't know. Whatever else the other options are. I don't want either of us hurting. I know there's no band-aid solution, but I know talking helps.
Now, is she wanting voice conversations because she lives in like a two-party state or whatever, or they both do, and it can't be recorded, so she could say whatever the fuck she wants and not have it come back to bite her in the ass like everything else?
Who knows? I mean, obviously in this instance, we're able to see like the screenshots and everything, and I assume Blair has probably shared text messages of them with her lawyers, probably.
Yeah.
It seems like like, obviously I'm not a relationship expert, and I can't remember Oz's thread quite well enough, but it's obviously we have a situation where Oz and by the way, when I say younger, I'm not insinuating that she was grooming him or anything, but like obviously we have a younger, more naive person here who is dating a not mentally stable woman in her 30s. So like I would imagine there was probably some just toxicity that probably didn't help. Like I all the unhinged rants Tommy and Nick heard, he probably heard those on like the daily.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
And this purple portion here is Blair airing her mental health. I'm leaving this censored. I don't.
Then let's just skip over to, here we go. I guess I will be heading down then. Probably wouldn't be bad to have it in my name either. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. I need time. I need to see the real therapist first. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry, you're hurting as well. I really am. But I need to start putting my needs first in life. I will put my needs first as well. Good luck out there. Please take care, please. Can't guarantee that, but I will be alive. Just so we're clear, that was a joke, probably a bad one, but a joke. And I'll have the officer remove the billow off your house too. I guess I will be heading down then. Probably wouldn't be bad to have it in my name either. Just show them any verifiable threats and they'll do it. Oh, here we go.
Additional context, the bolo in question, as Blair described it, was essentially swatting protection. It was a way that if someone were to attempt to swat my home, the officer in question would then look up my address and see that I am a public figure and give me a call before showing up to my door in SWAT gear. Blair removed this protection when I spoke out against her, or at least she claims. I don't know if this actually exists or not. But to me, in my eyes, on this day, after I had spoken out against Blair removed protections that I would have against swatting. Protections which she did in fact put in place, but had also
I mean, but
That's a cunt thing to do.
I mean, it is, but like, why didn't you go down and place the order back up?
Would he have been able to? Because
Yeah,
the
he would have been
place is
able
in her name?
Well,
So I don't know how any of this works, right?
Well, what he can do is like he can call up his local like police station, right, and be like, "Hey, I'm such and such. I live at this address. I'm a content creator. I live stream sometimes, and a lot of the times, I could face a potential swatting. I would just giving you a heads up so that way you know like what could happen, and I would just like you to call me ahead of time." Which, by the way, it's always a cringe conversation to have, FYI, but it's a necessary one.
Yeah, you got to protect you and your family if you're
or like
an online creator.
Yeah, just like, hey, officer, I'm Gamer Shadow 69. I make awesome like COD compilation videos. Okay, I got some losers who swat me every now and then. Okay, I just want you to call me before you break down my door.
Yeah.
Explain to me what the purpose of them were. There is a lot to unpack here. However, these messages are important as I believe they help demonstrate why I have come to the conclusions I have on her motives. It is worth noting, I am the one who asked for space. I am the one who wanted nothing to do with her. She is the one who apologized and desperately sought out a rapid solution to remove my words from the internet. I finally said no. This same day, April 24th, One Topic would post his thread in opposition to Blair. April 28th, Blair would upload her video Illuminaughtii Exposed, which served as a direct response to her detractors. Blair had taken drama off of Twitter with minimal viewership and plastered it before her large audience for the world to see.
I wouldn't put it that way because thousands of people saw what she was doing, and her fan base was well aware of what she was doing.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't that she amplified it. She just she responded to it so poorly that like she lost any potential of her viewers coming back to her. It wasn't that she amplified them at all, because like, oh my god, like everyone on YouTube was talking about it. Everyone was anticipating her response. and she just did a poor job.
In this video, she finally showed that she did in fact apologize to Legal Eagle in private. If this was made public, I believe we would not be here right now, as myself and others would not have received questions and pressure from viewers to make a statement. In this video, which is still public, Blair attempted to address the Twitter threads from both Click and Wonder. In doing so, she also used this opportunity to leverage several accusations against them, accusations which she, as it appears based on her actions, had been holding on for nearly 3 years to use at her convenience for an exact moment like.
Yeah, was it like, I think this is where it's like she tried to say the Click was like a bad person for like the no words and everything.
Yeah.
He says I'm mean. Here's him saying this word on a podcast episode 3 years ago.
This.
Yeah.
In my opinion, based on what we see from these events, either Blair knew her evidence was a misrepresentation of facts and only worth sharing as a Hail Mary attempt to destroy someone's reputation, or she willingly held evidence of minors being harmed within Click's server and only.
Oh yeah, she tried to say that the Click was harboring groomers in his server.
Yeah.
But if I remember correctly, as like this happened when he was offline, and as soon as he heard about it, the mod team had already taken care of it. It was like one of those situations.
Yeah.
Like it was already taken care of. Like there was nothing more for him to do because his team already took care of it.
Reported on it 3 years later when it benefited her. I cannot fathom any other reason for the events transpiring the way that they have. In fact, back in 2020, by the way she spoke within her messages, Blair seemed very eager to find an opportunity to destroy Click with this exact evidence. Or to use her words from 2020, nah, I'm not gonna attack Click unless it becomes public gossip or a drama channel picks it up. Then I will nuke him.
And that shows the type of person she is. She's a snake waiting. She's a snake in waiting. She doesn't want to be the first one to strike, but when something does happen, she likes to go in for like a kill because she wants the work to be done for her, and then she can like do like a slam dunk on it.
Yeah. She wants the easy wins, and she doesn't want commentary picking up on it.
Yeah.
Because you know damn well she's afraid of Nick.
Oh, yeah.
In this response video, Blair accused Click of some fairly horrendous things, which he did address in full within his own response video. Now, this is a retelling of well-documented public events which transpired publicly. None of this is new information. Blair also had a chapter dedicated to Wonder where she plastered his mental health for the world to see. Wonder is a former employee of Blair's, meaning that Blair had exposed private and sensitive information, also known as PII, which included conversations she had with his therapist, for her entire audience of, at the time, roughly 1.7 million subscribers. Blair also accused Wonder of mistreatment of his dog, as well as other false accusations that Wonder was forced to address. There is, of course, the infamous 3-minute section dedicated to me where Blair is in tears. I have my own opinion on these tears, but I plan to tackle this at a different time, as it serves no purpose here beyond pointing out that, in my opinion, Blair is attempting to leverage private details for public pity, which some people did in fact take at face value, and demanded I apologize to Blair on various platforms.
Who?
Bruh.
I mean, I'm not trying to doubt him here, but like, Blair ain't got no supporters left. Shark waiting for blood in the water. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I bet she still has some diehards. I bet Rico's still around.
Yeah.
Forms.
I shall be your knight, milady.
Yeah.
Section's cumbersome wording is very particular to the legal side of things that will make sense when looking at her, in my opinion, legal hypocrisy. She played in the mud just as much as everyone else did. I cannot emphasize enough that Blair had taken Click and Wonder's Twitter complaints and negative experiences of her past behavior, complaints made publicly as reasoning for their discontinued association with her after her public folly with Legal Eagle, and would then post a response video where she herself levied accusations against other content creators, which warranted a response to defend themselves against her claims. I understand that to a vast majority of you, this is obvious, but Blair attempts to paint her video as an attempt to de-escalate matters within the original filings of the lawsuit. Ironically, this factual allegation was later mysteriously removed in future amended versions of her legal complaint. 34. Regarding the false accusations listed above, Blair made one public post, attempting to debunk the misinformation. She has not publicly addressed the situation further in an attempt to de-escalate it.
De-escalation, but then also froze like new allegations, and then like froze people's like personal private information regarding like their mental health situation and in there, so that way she can like look good by comparison, I guess.
Ain't nothing on this planet that could make Blair look good at this point. I don't know why she's trying.
While I have my theories on why this was removed, the exact details are unknown. In her current complaint, there is currently no reference to her ever uploading this video or any of the public comments she's made, making it appear as though she never played in the mud, and her criticisms came from nowhere. Here's a quick search in the second amended complaint to demonstrate this. This document will be on full display in future chapters within Part 2. More on this, of course, when we reach the legal debunking. Sorry to edge you all on like this with this tease, but my point here is that Blair's story has already had numerous revisions, and she sees her video as an attempt at de-escalation. If you recall, among the many other accusations she levies, Blair accused YouTuber The Click of harboring pedophiles in his Discord server. In what world this is a de-escalation? I cannot say. Now, of course, I do believe that Blair is entitled to speak publicly on her
Hey, you were a bad boss. You're a pedo supporter.
personal retelling of events. However, I personally find it to be brash, hypocritical, and even monstrous to then sue those who argue against said retelling of events. Something rocks in glass houses. Following Blair's April 20th video, this would of course follow with a twit longer drafted by Wonder, posted April 29th, in a rapid attempt to defend himself from the multitude of new allegations that Blair had dropped on his doorstep. May 2nd, Click would upload his response, detailing his experiences with Sad Milk as well as what he had personally gone through. Near the end of this video, documentation is shown from an individual who was previously anonymous, which helped provide Click with supporting evidence to bolster his claims as well as to dismantle the many accusations thrown forward by Blair. This individual is now being sued by Blair. His online handle is Felix the Kit Kat. He was a former Discord moderator, later turned manager at Pyramid Entertainment LLC. We will be diving into his portion of the lawsuit later in this video, in dismantling the claims Blair has set forth within her lawsuit. It is of my opinion that Felix has been included for retaliatory reasons, as with him
Well, I mean, yeah, I think that's obvious to say. Everyone included in this lawsuit is for a petty and vindictive reason.
Yeah.
Like you don't go out of your way of suing a Discord mod unless you're just like being extra petty that day.
Being a former employee, Blair had access to his home address and thus the means to serve him with legal papers. Felix is among the individuals who the new GoFundMe will be aiding. May 11th would be the date that Wonder would release his video, an hour-and-a-half long rebuke of the claims Blair had laid out against him, some of which include refuting the alleged mistreatment of his dog, James, as well as being forced to out elements of his mental health. Wonder was forced to relive his trauma in front of the world because Blair, in my opinion, either recklessly and carelessly or purposefully and meticulously included them, as attempts to attack his character and credibility to lower the needed public standard of evidence so she could pin him as being a mentally unstable ingrate who mistreats his dog. I also made cameo interviews in this video where I spoke on what I witnessed during the time that Wonder was living with Blair and I, giving third-party account to some of the personal stories that Blair made public. My words in this video were in response to Blair's public comments. I will add that as of this video's production, Wonder has not been served by the courts and is currently on the table for dismissal. If he does get served, the GoFundMe will be at his disposal for legal fees as well. This then...
Weird that she didn't include him in the first round of lawsuits.
Yeah.
It's almost like she knows that, like, like either she knows that like she can't include too many people, or that like she knows that what like Wonder probably has a good argument for a counter lawsuit.
Mm-hmm. He is Wonder based in America as well?
Yes, because he lived with them for a little bit.
Okay.
But no, yeah, I can totally. If she did, she leaked his personal medical information. Yeah, that's grounds for a good counter lawsuit right there with a decent lawyer.
Yeah.
Then leads to Blair's infamous posts made to her YouTube community tab and Twitter on May 26th, speaking on how she intends to clear the false allegations that have surfaced against her. Let's actually take a peek at this real quick. Hey everyone, I'm fully aware of the recent false allegations that have surfaced. I want to take a moment to publicly state that I am taking these allegations seriously and am committed to rectifying this situation promptly and appropriately. I understand the concerns and potential impact that these false allegations have caused. My team and I are actively working behind the scenes to gather all relevant facts. I am committed to transparency and accountability throughout this process. Rest assured that I am taking decisive action to address this situation. I will provide updates and communicate any necessary actions as soon as possible. Thank you to those of you who are standing by me during this challenging time. I will not allow these false allegations to be weaponized as a way to silence my voice. I appreciate your patience and understanding during this challenging time. I am dedicated to upholding my channel's values and delivering on our commitments. I am confident that the truth will prevail. Sincerely.
Also, too, I think another reason why her channel didn't like succeed afterwards, right? It wasn't because like the channel wasn't about her personality, right? It was about here's bad people or bad companies doing bad things. And so when you're revealed to be a bad person, right, and your whole channel is about moral outrage, it's hard for you to recover that.
Mm-hmm.
The click cannot take her to court because it would cost too much. Oh, I mean, for an international lawsuit, yeah, but Wonderstruck, I think he still lives in the U.S., so I think.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Really, Blair's on. I would like to note that Blair has been publicly silent on her platform for an entire year on this matter. Blair claimed that false allegations were being weaponized to silence her voice, but she has, in my opinion, been weaponizing the legal system to silence further criticism of her actions. I too, Blair, am confident the truth will prevail, which is why I'm actually breaking my silence, because I'm exhausted with playing the game your way. This would follow with the very next day, Blair sending out cease and desist to first Wonder and then later myself roughly 1 week later, June 5th. At this point, and up until September of 2023, I would have only made a single Twitter thread, as well as possibly 5 minutes of cameo time in Wonder's video discussing matters which Blair had previously made public. Between the two cease and desists, we would see One Topic release a video discussing his experiences with Sad Milk on June 2nd. His video was made for his audience and acted as more of an open form of communication with those who had questions. It wasn't chock full of screenshots, and he really had nothing to prove. We would then see the release of Swoop's video June 6th, which I was barely even mentioned in. This will be important for the second part. In the following week, specifically June 14th, 2023 at 9:03 a.m., which I would also like to add that these were denied by the court, which is why I had never heard of them until very recently. 2 civil protection orders against myself as well as Wonder were filed by Blair. Blair cites
civil protection, interesting.
General harassment that she had received as grounds for her civil protection against Wonder. Now, I would like to firmly state that if you've ever sent a threat of any kind to Blair, go fuck yourself. I don't want you in my audience or even remotely associated with me. You're selfish and only stroking your own ego while simultaneously hurting everyone involved. But with that being said, I do want to briefly talk about a few details in the CP.
Well, also too, Oz has never advocated for anyone to go harass her. I mean, obviously he just did a public disavow right there. But during the even during the whole situation itself, he never once was like, "Hey, go do X, Y, and Z to Blair." He was never did that.
He never supported shit like that.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it got thrown out to begin with.
Hopefully.
Or
If this is all new information, please go see my September update video. August 29th, 2023, Blair would submit a new set of temporary restraining orders, which were denied, as well as her lawsuit against Felix, Wonder, and myself for defamation and breach of contract. It is of my opinion that Blair timed these events so I could only fight one, the foreclosure or the lawsuit, not both. I do believe that if I did not speak out against her in April, she would not have put my home through foreclosure proceedings. With these actions timed alongside the lawsuit, it does make me firmly believe, in my opinion, it's retaliatory in nature. The restraining orders in question were to, once more, prevent publication of any information on Blair. In this restraining order, Blair directly cites the video I was originally producing as a documentary on her actions as grounds to allow this pseudo-gag order to proceed. Quoting this TRO, here, however, plaintiff's request for relief will cause defendants no harm, because they simply must refrain from publishing what is essentially an online op-ed piece, which they have admitted will lambaste plaintiffs. Should the court deem plaintiffs' claims to be unnecessary, defendants can simply publish their video. Scared of something? Truth being, before we get into more details, Blair could have easily just responded, but the silence and sudden bombardment of legal speaks volumes, Blair. Because please remember, at this point of her filings, I'd only made a public Twitter thread and approximately 5 minutes worth of cameo time in an interview in Wonder's video. I would not be made aware of the lawsuit or legal filings until September 27th, more than a week after my September video was published. I had elected, out of respect for the legal system, to remain silent until now. It's not that I'm lacking respect for it with the publication of this video, I'm lacking respect for Blair and the escapades she's elected to throw me into. The legal proceedings have been grueling, from a mix of anxiety-laden sleepless nights to curveballs that throw off my entire day. It can be very difficult to live a normal life when every day is filled with stress and anxiety, every email notification laced with dread. It's exhausting, and this video exists because I'm tired. The lawsuit starts with the service in late September, roughly a week or so after my September upload, specifically September 27th. I would be in and out of calls with my lawyer, going over the facts of the matter, looking over everything I could and providing as much evidence as possible. Unfortunately, I can't just drop a folder of evidence on the judge's desk with a solid "nuh-uh" and walk away. A shame, really. The inner workings for how the legal proceedings have gone so far are mostly publicly documented by the creators previously mentioned. If the time comes, I will explore the full timeline of the lawsuit, including Blair's attempts at settling this lawsuit, grotesquely in her favor, for all parties involved. But for now, I'm leaving these be. Once you make it to the outro, my reasoning will make sense. During the proceedings of this lawsuit, H-Bomber would upload not one, but 2 videos covering Blair's prior acts of plagiarism. One being a 40-minute section within a 4-hour-long, 20 million view video, as well as an individually uploaded 20-minute video with over 3 million views focusing exclusively on Blair. More people are aware of Blair because of H-Bomber than they are for any of the other drama-related reasons surrounding her. This timeline will be...
Yeah, that definitely didn't help. So by the way, so I'm listening intently on this. I want to make sure that I'm getting everything correct with this story. Yeah. So I am curious if she was going to include was going to include the H-Bomber into this. It would have been funny.
It would have been.
Yeah. She's
I mean, it's not too late.
She
could add them. She can fucking add them tomorrow if she wanted.
Oh my god. Granted, does H-Bomber have a Patreon? I would imagine either way that he probably has a lot more money than her in this situation.
And sense.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more sense as well.
Well, as much sense as a friend of Hassan Piker can have, but I digress.
Yeah.
Extremely important for the following chapters. Again, I implore all of you to double check, as I was only focusing on videos related to the lawsuit in question, as well as all and any first-party sources. This now leads us to Felix. Through the last 9 months, Felix and I have been wading through the murky waters of a lawsuit Blair has set forth. If you're unfamiliar with the nitty-gritty of the legal proceedings at play and still don't recognize who Felix the Kit Kat is, again, this is a former Discord moderator for Blair turned employee at Pyramid Entertainment, the leading plaintiff, in this lawsuit Blair has hoisted us into.
I would like to see a copy of like whatever contract Blair had them sign.
Yeah.
Like, is there a specific section of like you can't talk about the company for like so many years?
Oh, probably.
As of the time of writing, Felix's motion to dismiss was denied, and he will be proceeding through standard legal proceedings with Blair. I will be going into the specifics of the judge's order shortly, and to firmly clarify, the judge is not connected to or well educated on the YouTube space, nor the drama which has transpired. He is doing
To be slightly fair to him, would you expect him to be? Like, we're not gonna get judges well versed in like YouTube drama lore for like another like 20-30 years.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I mean, current lawyers on the space covering stuff, they can eventually be promoted to a judge space.
Oh my! Imagine Legal Eagle becomes a judge.
Emily D. Baker.
Oh yeah, Emily Baker as well. What if Zerka wins his case and becomes a judge?
Oh god.
He's like,
Zerka.
I'm sorry.
You mean Ricada?
Ricada, sorry. Zerka becomes a lawyer, then he becomes a judge.
Oh god. If Zerka becomes a lawyer, society is fucking doomed.
I would honestly, I would just for the heck of it, I would want him as my lawyer for a case. See if he can like better call solve the situation. Yeah. He's like, hey, listen, Your Honor. And he's like, hang on, wait a minute, and he's like snorts a line right there.
Yeah. Hashtag 3 sniffs.
His job and acting according to the documents provided in front of him. More on this soon, as the legal system is far more complicated than an episode of Law and Order may lead you to believe. As a reminder, the lawsuit...
You hear that, Mama Max? And what's the name of that? What was the name of that girl?
Spencer?
Spencer. You hear that, Spencer? The world's not like
God.
Law and Order. Muta.
Muta.
I can't believe you, Muta.
Isn't even out of the starting gate. This could turn into an exhausting fight ahead of all of us, and is far from over for those of us who are directly involved. It'll be my purpose here to present Blair's claims against Felix, the counter towards them, and why I feel these claims were created in bad faith, as well as going over why the judge made his ruling the way he did, as, in my opinion, it helps to shine light into Blair's legal strategy at hand. Referring back to the timeline provided earlier, on May 2nd, 2023, YouTuber The Click, a comedy and meme channel, this will be an important distinction for later, produced his response to the April 20th video, Illuminaughtii Exposed, where Blair had levied multiple allegations of misconduct against Click. Click responded to these accusations with a 30-minute response to an 8-minute chapter within Blair's video, thoroughly, in my opinion, clearing his name. I would also like to give the information specifically in this case to Blair and her lawyers that I did not reach out to Felix nor had contact with Felix since his departure from Pyramid Entertainment LLC until April 24th, where Felix would initially reach out to me.
Let's see, redacted work conversation from Pyramid Entertainment 1 year earlier. Hey man, I saw what you said on Twitter, and honestly, if I ever made you feel bad about yourself or anything like that, I apologize. I was doing my best to work with the tools and had no training I was given and had some bad calls from time to time. I just want you to know I never felt any negative way against you or any other guys.
Me, as seen here. He would later reach out once again shortly after Blair's public video, where he...
Let's see. If you need a StarCraft buddy, I'm always down. Take care, man. I've been on the FF grind as per usual. Maybe one day I'll play a Blizzard game again. I'll have way too many people that just want me to play, but I'm afraid I'll never put it down if I pick it up. Okay.
I know that feel.
Yeah. Point stuff. I thought I might point out that you were the owner of the Sad Milk Reddit. If you want a place that people could discuss without being censored by Blair. I'm not one to stir the pot personally. I don't care much for drama, but she outright is lying about how the click's past came up and not even addressing you or even the rest of the staff. She rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. She has been heavily trying to censor her own Reddit, but it's not really working that well.
He felt that Blair had improperly retold events, as Felix was a direct witness to what had transpired with Click. Felix, of his own volition, wanted to help set the record straight on information unrelated to the operations of Pyramid Entertainment LLC. Within Click's video, the final chapter includes screenshots from a redacted individual. This individual in question was Felix the Kit Kat. In these screenshots, Felix provides documentation of Blair offering him $200 to sift through prior Sad Milk recordings to find evidence of Click using the R word.
Yeah, that's it right there. Just to find material on to cancel him with.
These screenshots in question are what Blair is suing
And doesn't
for
she get
defamation.
mad at people for doing that to her?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, why do you think she like erased everything related to like Shot from the Point with her name on it?
Yeah.
As well as breach of contract. What is not included within this lawsuit, however, is the screenshot evidence provided by Felix of Blair owning the alt account that was created to harass Click as well as his cohorts in 2020. Take this information.
So yeah, she creates alternate accounts so that way she can like unhingedly attack her former associates and everything.
Yeah, that makes she's totally stable,
Well,
chat.
that's kind of like not to the same degree because she made multiple accounts. That's what like Creepshow Art was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like just create alternate accounts so that way you can go after people you don't like.
Yeah.
Information as you will. Blair is willing to sue over a DM showing her paying one of her, at the time, Discord moderators $200 to dig up dirt on a prior collaborator, but Blair is not suing about the disclosure of information about owning an alt account to harass other YouTubers. Take that as you will. The claims against Felix the Kit Kat listed within the lawsuit are as follows. If you want the drama attached to the individual filings, you can visit Madcaster's channel where he's broken down each filing for the layman, as well as Vangelina Skov and more recently Tamimi. Up first, as claims against Felix, whose full name will be censored using orange. Defendant Felix is a former employee of plaintiffs. As a note, his employment began at or around the time of May 5th, 2021. As disclosed in the factual allegation number 18, Blair states, defendant Felix signed a confidentiality agreement on May 5th, 2021, signed the Felix agreement, which all employees are required to sign as a condition of employment. 63. Felix is in violation of this Felix agreement by turning over private messages between himself and Blair to another YouTuber, Mark Drek, to exploit in a YouTube video made to slander plaintiffs. This video is available at, then YouTube link, and is titled Illuminaughtii and Sad Milk. The video was not produced, as Blair stated, to slander plaintiffs. This video, made by Click, was in self-defense from Blair. Felix...
No, yeah, because you slandered him in your video by saying that he was harboring pedophiles. Like, what?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do there, Blair? Like, I don't want to know Felix's IRL name. Well, yeah, that's why he's censoring it. That's
Yeah.
yeah. Are you talking about PewDiePie? No, no, Minna, no, Minna. Watch the screen.
Came to the aid of someone defending themselves. What Blair has done in this lawsuit is completely remove any and all instances or references of her public statements to make it appear as though any attack against her is slanderous. Please recall the previous removal of factual allegation 34 from the prior version of the lawsuit. Again, 34. Regarding the false accusations listed above, Blair made one public post, attempting to debunk the misinformation. She has not publicly addressed this situation further in an attempt to de-escalate it. Once more, mention of this no longer exists within the lawsuit. The screenshot in question happened November 10th, 2020, nearly 7 months before Felix's employment under Pyramid Entertainment. The NDA should not cover private messages unrelated to Pyramid LLC. It appears to me that Blair is attempting to claim that every conversation she has ever had with an employee throughout all of time, even matters unrelated to Pyramid Entertainment, are under NDA. These DMs were in specific relation to a group collaboration channel known as Sad Milk, which included the likes of Damian Lee, Flinders, Hi I'm Wonder, One Topic, The Click, Salty, and myself, and of course Blair. Sad Milk
But
is
she
operated as a
is
different corporate
Pyramid
entity with its
Entertainment.
own distinct
Yeah.
So she thinks.
I am the Senate.
EIN, known as Wet Sox LLC, which is a sibling company to Pyramid Entertainment. Both are owned by the same umbrella company that holds my debt.
By the way, she probably like I don't know if she like thought of like suing everyone ahead of time, but she probably did this so that way like if she needed to, she could just go after people like this.
Yeah.
Cuz like obviously like personal like for example, like harkening back to the Rich and Jay situation. Rich
Didn't they get back together again?
I don't know. It's back and forth all the time. Like Rich didn't have Jay sign a contract under Review Tech LLC. You know, it was just like a personal like, hey, you know, like I'll pay you this amount, like that sort of deal. It's like I think it was like more of a verbal agreement the two had.
Yeah.
With this, it's like she's having her. It seems like she had like Squatch, imagine or like if we had each other sign like NDAs before we decided to like do streams or videos together.
That'd be so gay.
So gay. Uber gay.
So gay.
Yeah. Like I was saying, so gay. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I think she knows how. Because I think this, like, all this stuff happened well after she worked with Tommy. So I think she knows how impulsive and how vindictive of a person she is. So if anyone tried to, like, get together to talk about her, she's like, technically, legally, you weren't supposed to do that. So, like, I can sue you now.
Yeah.
If any argument were to be made about this being work contributed by Felix, the actions taken were not in service to Pyramid Entertainment, but instead Wet Sox LLC. However, there was no employment contract or NDA attached to these actions in service to Wet Sox. The files in question are related to old audio recordings of Sad Milk videos, not Pyramid. It is also important to point out that these actions in question were not, to my knowledge, normal company practice to specifically target employees who were low on money to dig up dirt on prior collaborators of Blair's. Then to pay said employee with a PayPal transaction. To further add, Click was contracted talent for Wet Sox LLC, as Blair herself demonstrated at 11:14 in her own video, where she briefly shows on screen the Sad Milk Entertainment contract, which she
Hey, you wanna create collaboration channels together? Yeah, let's do that. And then you just like you have to sign all these legal documents. Now with something like because I know LOLCal Live, I think it's like it's their own created thing. They have a legal contract where they all get like 25% of the earnings. That that I understand because like well with how flaky Wings and Boogie are, you want to have like a legal thing there.
You want to cover your ass for sure.
Yeah, especially Keem and Tommy, you know. But like, and granted, I don't know what the revenue split was like on the Sad Milk channel, but like, it's weird to then use this as like justification for lawsuits against everyone.
Refers to as the agreement. I would also like to add that if this was official company business, there should be a documented 1099 form or other specific documentation to show the payments to Felix are properly documented for specifically Pyramid Entertainment. After talking with Felix and being shown his TurboTax filing from 2020, I can confidently state neither this 1099 nor any form of company documentation exists to specify this payment as being directly in service of Pyramid Entertainment. As of this time, we only have a PayPal transfer listed as video review. Mind you, there are no PayPal transfer fees attached to this amount. PayPal takes a fee for business-related transactions. This can range widely, but the common fee for a company transfer is 3.49%, with an additional 49 cents per transaction. This means that this transaction is most likely listed internally with PayPal as a friends and family transfer, as before July 28th, 2022, it was possible for a business PayPal account to send money via a friends and family transfer. This transfer was made in November of 2020, nearly 2 years before this policy change occurred. To me, in my opinion, based on the evidence I have in front of me, this appears to be an under-the-table task assigned to him with no documentation of how that money was categorized, with the payment being labeled within PayPal as friends and family, similar to paying your neighbor's kid to mow the lawn. And on top of that, the assignment was specifically in service to Wet Sox, not Pyramid Entertainment LLC, and specifically involved prior contractors, click, of Wet Sox LLC, not Pyramid Entertainment. In my eyes, I see this as Blair retroactively changing the events of 2020 to fit her narrative within the lawsuit. The simple truth is, this conversation was held November of 2020, and he was hired May of 2021. Blair is trying to claim that these were company...
Okay, so the argument is, like, he couldn't have violated the contract because at that time there was no contract to be had, but... And I don't know, because would it then, like, obviously I don't have the contract right in front of me. Would the contract include any conversations that he had prior to employment?
I don't think it should.
It shouldn't, but I don't know if, like, Blair specifically had her documents include that.
Like, how can you, how can you enforce that? Like,
no, I agree. Yeah, it's
communications and has framed it as such to make the lawsuit stick. Factual Claim 64. Regarding these messages, defendant Felix edited selectively picked messages to create the appearance that Blair made statements that she did not. He thereby created a false narrative that was damaging to the plaintiffs.
okay. So right here, they're trying to claim that, like, all, like, the damning screenshots from Blair through, like, the Discord messages are, like, all photoshopped here.
Felix, when the lawsuit was served to him, more on why that's on air quotes later, posted on Twitter informing the public of his circumstance, while also providing the full context of the screenshot in question, which provides no room.
Hey, are you still short on rent? Rent, no electricity, and phone. I am at $2 right now. No idea what I'm going to do for lunch tomorrow, but I am the F it till I figure it out phase of my life. I have something for you, but it's a little tedious. I need you to work with blank to help find the click. Oh yeah, this is the full context of... So she's going to someone she knows is desperate for money, being like, hey, I need you to basically do like a kind of hit job for me. I need you to find all the bad things this person said. I mean, I would say that's like... That's
pretty manipulative.
No, I was about to say that. Fairly manipulative right there, because she knows that, like, he's desperate for money.
Yeah.
And, like, I would... And this is no offense to Oz and all of them. I imagine they're a very woke... probably... Blair especially. Like, the woke, like, you know, you can't be saying the mean, offensive stuff like this, right? Just anything to paint someone they don't like as it's a bad person.
To argue for cherry picking, as Blair has argued in her suit. Blair does later in this suit confirm the validity of these screenshots by stating she cross-referenced them in her own DMs. But in my opinion, the full context here makes her look worse. These messages were provided to help clear a former collaborator's name of accusations brought against him by Blair. Here's the full context for those DMs. Blair sending a message. Kit Kat. Now, I believe this is a clerical error, as Felix did not tweet on any of the days surrounding May 2nd. I believe Blair is referring to this tweet in question, made November 23rd of 2023. 110. This statement implies that Blair committed the tort of abuse of process, alleging A, an ulterior motive for the use of a judicial proceeding to retaliate for defendant Felix's post-employment actions, B, the willful use of legal proceedings in an improper matter, trying to force a default judgment without properly serving defendant Felix. C, damages, an impending default judgment against defendant Felix. 111. These statements are false, and defendant Felix made the statement with negligent disregard for its falsity. Process server, redacted, signed a declaration that she served defendant Felix on September 26, 2023 at his place of abode, handing the required legal documents to an individual matching defendant Felix's physical description. Felix was never directly handed papers. Instead, the papers were delivered by mail to an address he lives 2 hours away from, at a claimed time while he was just getting off of work. 2 hours away from the stated address. The papers were never formally handed to Felix. Felix's sister found an envelope in the mail with regular US postage labeled to Felix on or around October 6th. This directly opposes the processor's claim of directly handing it to Felix. What I find interesting is that this appeared in a mailbox with postage and was within a standard mailing period from September 26th. Yet, there are claims of this being handed directly to Felix. These papers would have been delivered to Felix's stepfather's home within the official legal filing September 27, 2023 at 6:40 p.m. This address is not his usual place of abode, which is even distinguished, despite the redactions I've made, by not being the address given for Felix in the very lawsuit Blair filed. At the time of delivery, Felix would need to drive nearly 150 miles an hour directly after his shift at work to be at said address in time to receive the papers from said
Okay, so like they're trying. I don't know how much playing like the little like technical game will help him here. Like, I get what he's trying to say. That like there are little like inconsistencies within the filing of the lawsuit.
processor.
I just
While
don't
it's
know how
not
much
much,
this is gonna
Felix
help
has
him.
provided me with screenshots of him speaking with his girlfriend about arriving home at 7 p.m. after work. To reiterate, Felix was never formally given papers, despite what the processor claims. Instead, they were mailed to his stepfather, and a proof of service filing was made. The argument of us theorizing that Blair was trying to get a default judgment against Felix comes from the fact that after the service attempt, nearly every day afterwards, Felix would check in with the Colorado courts for an official proof of service to be filed, so he could begin his legal battle. However, proof of service was not filed until after the time required for Felix to respond. When papers are served, a response is due within 21 days, but 35 days for out-of-state parties, within Colorado after service. So this would have been either October 31st or November 1st, depending on if the day of service counts towards the allotted time. Proof of service was not filed with the courts until November 17th, more than 2 weeks after, meaning that Felix would have defaulted. Even my lawyer was caught off guard by these actions. Plaintiff's attorneys filed a proof of service on Felix today. The service was back in September. Not sure why they're just filing the proof today. Felix's answer should have been filed by the end of October based on the service date. Allegation 112. Defendant Felix's statement caused special damages as evident by the fact that plaintiff's revenue from videos dropped by more than 95% after defendant's tweet/X was published. From
No. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. They're trying to. Oh my God, Blair's trying to blame our loss of money on Felix. What?
Well, this woman is not
No.
mentally well, that's for sure.
I. Hang on, Squash. Let's look at those. Let's look at those numbers again, shall we? For Illuminati. Let's look at those again. Look at this. Look at this. All this. It's clearly Felix's fault.
Yeah, totally.
Felix
That
is,
makes so much sense.
Felix is the reason why this part of her video has no audio. This is all Felix's fault right here. She has to know she can't pin it all on him. That's absolutely insane.
from
I think she knows, but she's gonna
$74,646.
try anyways. She's running out of options at this point.
She's
Her
just throwing
YouTube
everything
career
at the
is
wall.
kaput.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just running with it, whatever the fuck sticks.
Period of November 23rd, 2022, December 23rd, 2022, to $2,751.72 during that same period a year later. Blair is listing a drop of revenue from a specific date period and ignoring the fact that her revenue had begun to decline far before then. The official date, April 20th, 2023, is when we can see the first damage being done to her subscriber count. This is also the day she levied accusations against Legal Eagle. And then, of course, following her upload of the Illuminati exposed video, the viewership damage is fairly
No, no, yeah. Anybody who knows the basic analyst of like YouTube and then like you look at like her behavior around that time can tell you that it's clearly Felix had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
especially in the following weeks where she saw a rapid decline. I find it to be personally dishonest to claim that Felix's GoFundMe tweet was responsible for the drop in revenue reported, as there had been a long-standing consistent drop of revenue for each month prior. Not to mention, of course, in that date range, this includes the H-Bomber Guy videos, which had a collective 23 million views between the two of them.
She'd have more of a legal basis to sue H Bomber Guy if we're talking about who ruined her career in revenue.
113. Blair suffered non-economic and special damages, as explained in paragraph 112 of the complaint, as a result of defendant Felix's publications in an amount to be proven at trial. I can only assume this is her talking about the general backlash and emotional turmoil this situation has thrown her into. Again, as I'm sure I'll be saying this thousands of times, if you send threats of any kind towards Blair, you're worse than her. Again, the damages Blair is suffering is of her own doing. The only reason any of us are in this position is because of the actions Blair initially took on April 20th, 2023. Eighth claim for relief, defamation per quad as to defendant Felix. 114, Blair and Pyramid hereby incorporate the previous paragraphs by reference as though they were fully set forth therein. 115, on or about May 2nd, 2023, Mark Deck posted to his public YouTube account, The Click, a video titled Illuminaughtii and Sad Milk, which contains screenshots from defendant Oz and Felix, intended for publication by Deck, available at YouTube link and timestamp. I also just want to add that Click's name is public. 116, the Illuminaughtii and Sad Milk video displayed a redacted screenshot of a Discord conversation. 117, upon information and belief, the relevant redacted portions obscured the username Felix the Kit Kat, the username of defendant Felix. 118. Upon information and belief, Click is Mark Dreck. It's actually Mark Deck, and he's pretty public with this. It's the name of his public music channel after all. 119. Blair.
So, see, I'm noticing there's a lot of misspellings and off dates with a lot of what her legal team's filing. I saw a lot of this with the Maddox stuff as well. Maddox's lawyer got a lot of names wrong, and he got like a lot of dates wrong as well. I don't know if this speaks more of like the quality of legal team she hired, or like just like if she
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, or like if she just like just throw everything at the wall at them. Hurry, get these documents out so I can sue them all.
Asked Felix to find Mark Dreck saying the R slur in Sad Milk's raw audio. 120. Defendant Felix then asserts that Blair, though she publicly disapproves of the R slur, uses it in private. 121. This statement.
Hey, Squashy, you know who can definitely confirm that?
Tommy and Nick.
Carries a defamatory meaning because it implies that Blair is both a hypocrite and a bigot.
And what does it imply when you pay someone $200 to find someone saying that word? What does that imply?
Yeah.
Her words, not mine. 122. Defendant Felix published this statement with negligent disregard for its truthfulness because he concedes that he has no proof to substantiate his claim. In 2020, Blair had revealed to me that she had used a service to scrub her Twitter of all and any inappropriate or cancelable language that she may have tweeted. Evidence of this can actually be found by the fact that there's a massive removal of tweets on a single day.
Oh, 488 tweets. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Blair, what did you do?
Were you singing along with the Bo Black song? Was that it?
Oh, probably.
Shown by her social blade.
You know, I wonder if there are any streams where she calls into Tommy's show.
Oh God.
I had to purchase a
Maybe.
Social Blade premium subscription to get this data down to the day as shown. However, as I've come to learn, that service that Blair used to mass delete tweets doesn't scan media or screenshots. Blair famously went after Click for using the R word 14 years ago. Blair at one point has stated that the word has never been in her vocabulary and that even with 10 years of time, it's
Let's see. I'm a level of all y'all. In reading through things and seeing blank excuse click saying the R slur because 10 years ago it's irrelevant. It's super yikes to me. Again, excuse me, sorry. I'm the same age as Click. That word has been in my vocabulary not 10 years ago, not now, because it was never appropriate. Same with him saying the N word or F slur for being edgy. It's not an excuse. And seeing it dismissed so lightly like that is actually seriously gross.
excusable that he would use this word, despite this being his second language and being the early 2010s, and America's cultural exports use this word frequently. Family Guy, South Park, Black Eyed Peas. Blair can be seen in this using the exact word in question that she
Oh, no way, Yufa. Oh, here we go.
condemns and damns others for using.
2017.
Only 3 years prior to her stating that word was never
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
her.
in my vocabulary. According to Blair, even 10 years is inexcusable. Link to the tweet below at the bottom of the description. One of the reasons Blair is suing Felix is for defamation because of a DM where he claimed that Blair has used the R word in private. Well, here she is using it in public as an insult. Now, personally, I'd like to keep the R word discourse out of it. The main focus here is the hypocrisy at play because it's plain as day. I actually think that Blair's lawyer put it best. Because implies that Blair is both a hypocrite and a bigot. 123. Defendant Felix's statements caused special damages as evident by the fact that plaintiff's revenue from videos dropped by about 50% after defendant Felix's
I'm sorry. This is so dumb. Such.
Like, what the fuck?
Felix the cat over here is the reason why I lost all my big YouTube revenue.
Bruh.
defamatory statements were published in the Illuminaughtii and Sadmuk video from $37,981 in the period of May 2nd to June 1st, 2022 to $19,274.85 during that same period a year later.
Poor baby. Instead.
124. Blair suffered non-economic and special damages as explained in paragraph 123 of the complaint as a result of defendant Felix's publications in an amount to be proved at trial. The economic damages in question, again, are not solely caused by Felix providing those screenshots. Blair is seemingly electing to avoid mentioning that at this time. There are far more factors at play. Thankfully, the timeline provided earlier helps cleanly spell this out for any parties watching who are unfamiliar.
Yeah. Is everyone just forgetting about like how much, how terrible she was going about everything at that time?
Probably.
Blair, I don't know if you know this or not, but you didn't make yourself look good by going after Legal Eagle.
No, very
The
much
only
not.
way that I can read Blair's current filings, in my view, is that Blair appears to be purposefully misleading the judge to try and paint the situation of her being unjustly attacked for no reason, and excluding any mention that she was in fact the initial aggressor. This brings me to the present where we are now. After Felix submitting a motion to dismiss, which argues that the lawsuit should be essentially tossed, the judge ruled in Blair's favor for the lawsuit to continue. Matt Catster has some great videos diving into this and going over each party's arguments. I don't think we have the time to sit down and go through the nearly 20 plus pages of documents arguing case law in relation to this suit just for Felix. I will point out, though, from what I could see, Felix's lawyer took the route of trying to argue the claims itself and the legal standing, as I'm unsure if, at this phase of the suit, if facts can be presented in argumentation of a case's legitimacy, as both defendant parties, mine included, have forgone including the nitty-gritty facts of the matter and instead focused on tackling the claims on their merit to stand on their own and utilizing case law on the matter to challenge the arguments at play. However, it seems that Blair was able to eke out a temporary victory with her presentation of the claims. First and foremost, the judge is following procedure as his duties describe according to Colorado law, which outlines that plaintiffs be given, in my opinion for this specific case in question, an unreasonable amount of benefit of the doubt. Even if Blair has a fraction of a percent of a chance for her claims to prevail, the courts must hear them out beyond a motion to dismiss. This is my understanding of the law that the judge has put as his reasoning, which, while frustrating, I understand. This is not the judge blatantly siding with Blair, this is him doing his job. As quoting, dismissing a complaint only if it appeared beyond a doubt that the plaintiff could prove no set of facts that would entitle him or her to relief, the trial court still accepts all allegations in the complaint as true and views them in the light most favorable to the plaintiff. However, facts pleaded as legal conclusions, i.e. boilerplate or conclusory allegations, such as those that merely repeat the statutory language, are no longer entitled to the presumption that they are true. They must be supported by specific factual allegations sufficient to raise the right to relief above the speculative level. Simply asserting a legal conclusion, bereft of any supporting factual allegations, does not state a plausible claim for relief. Viewing the amended complaint in the light most favorable to the plaintiff, the court accepts that the portion of the YouTube video referenced in paragraph 63 and 64 of the complaint is the same as the one displayed via screenshots in paragraph 116 to 20, which has the same link. It shows Blair instructing her employee, Felix, to help me find Click, a former employee and now competing YouTuber, saying the R slur in Sad Milk's raw audio, and offering to pay him $200 to find it. Sad Milk is a YouTube channel created and managed by plaintiff Pyramid AMC Para 10. So, as we've discussed in a quick rundown, Felix was not an employee at the time. The work was not done for Pyramid. The income provided was a gift. The work was done for a separate LLC entirely, if she so chooses to argue that line of thought. Click was also never an employee. If he was, why isn't he being sued? I'm going to show an excerpt from the second claim of relief, which mostly pertains to myself, which is why it isn't fully delved into earlier. However, it reads as follows. 73. Upon information and belief, defendant is in breach of these arguments by sharing screenshots of company communications with defendant Oz, intending that he used the screenshots as part of a campaign to damage plaintiff's reputation as stated above in paragraph 63, Illuminaughtii and Sad Milk at 2413. Defendant Felix has further established his intent to post additional content which will harm plaintiffs in a devastating manner. Blair within this lawsuit is specifically painting these communications as being directly related to company communications, when they were not. I also did not organize a defamation campaign against Blair. She threw the mud first. The judge continues. Again, viewing the amended complaint in the light most favorable to the plaintiff, these allegations arguably state plausible claims for breach of both the NDA and the Felix Agreement. They arguably state a plausible claim for breach of the NDA in that they plausibly allege that Felix, without permission, shared with a third party Pyramid information about company operations, as well as information regarding an individual's involvement in Pyramid operations. They likewise arguably state a plausible claim for breach of the Felix Agreement. They allege that Felix, without permission, shared with a third party confidential information for the benefit of a third party. The confidential information disclosed is not, as Felix's counsel suggests, that Blair uses the R slur in private. That would be a private matter rather than the company business. Rather, the potentially actionable conduct by Felix was his disclosure of internal company messages and operations, namely that Blair is instructing her employee to find potentially damaging information about a competing YouTuber. Click.
But she did. That's what she contracted. That's what she... I'll pay you $200 to do this. That's what she did. She did.
Yeah. Wait,
Well, Squatchin, before we head off, do you have any last words for our lovely Blair?
Fuck you, cunt.
In Squatchin's opinion, in Minecraft,
In Canada.
In Canada,
Oh, bitch.
Well, guys, I would just want to thank the amazing members that we have on this channel. First off, I want to thank Pidgey for being a Super Nerd 3. Dude's been like one of the biggest supporters of the channel financially, which, by the way, you are in no obligation to do so. It's every little bit helps. Just thank you so much, especially the Pidgey for going further beyond with his support and being a Super Nerd 3. We have the Super Nerd 2s, which is the $5 tier. We have a review. What is that? View our Arrow Last USA, Gospel of Lamp, The Gaming Witch, Jacob Golf City Navo, Trippy Savage, Squatchin, Ivan, Nuclear Winter, I Have Loved the Stars Too Fondly, Sliggins, and Rachel. Thank you guys so much. And finally, we have the we have the 99-cent tier, which is the cheapest tier, and we have Marble, John Bon Zombie, GG Hearts, J1K, Twilight Midna, Zaylin, Panic Pun, K-Huck, Micken, McMuffin, Lady Nurse, Spectre, Daniel J, Annie, and Mike the Bike. Seriously, guys, thank you so much for all the support you've given the channel over the years. We're getting close to 150 episodes of Nerdy Live. It's pretty awesome. And
it's 150 already.
150, yeah.
Jesus.
What happens when you're consistent watching? Well, do you have anything you want to advertise real quick before we get on out of here? You do streaming Destiny 2 again?
Yeah, I'll grab some breakfast and then I'll fire up a live stream and I'll see y'all over there.
Heck yeah. Well, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that way you can get notified whenever we go live here on the channel. And remember, okay, guys, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy that pot of coffee. Let's get out of here.
But all you ever notice are the ways it stretch too far.